Welcome back to another edition of the Parkside Preview. We got a new face joining me here for the winter season, the head coach of Parkside Women's Basketball, Jen Conley. Jen, thank you so much for taking your time. Your season is just about set to go. You're entering your sixth season here with Parkside. Now, what is it that you love so much about coaching basketball in this school?
When I first started coaching, I thought it was about wins and the X's and O's. The more I get in it, the more I appreciate the experience with our student athletes and just being able to be there for them when they enter as a diaper dandy and then they graduate. So that's the best part of it.
Just wrapping up preseason, season's right around the corner at this point. How would you evaluate these first couple weeks with your brand new team?
A lot of new faces. One of the coaches in our league cracked a joke. Do I have them wear name tags at practice? So many new faces, and so last year we graduated 20 years of Parkside experience, which is insane. And so we have 8 new players, 4 returners, and so leaning on our returners a little bit. But I feel like our new players have come in, hit the ground running, and they're doing really well.
Let's talk about some of those new players. You said 8 new players now, which is just a remarkable number, especially just early on in this season. How do you plan on building this team's chemistry, or helping build it in such a short period of time?
Oh, I think that's the beauty in our offense. We're on a motion offense, and it's 5 people working together for the best shot for us. I think that helps. Obviously, when you graduate someone like Alyssa Nelson and she averages a lot, I think it's never going to be easier to play someone of that caliber, and the other 4 seniors too. But it's one of those where each person's allowed to step up. We had some injuries at the end of last year, and then like Grace Lohman stepped up, and I think she had like 19 and 7.5. So I think it's a beauty in their style of play. We've had some tiny knocks, so we haven't had everyone full go yet, but we will have everyone here shortly.
What excites you so much about this team this season?
I think the thing that excites me the most is we're not even close to scratching the surface, and where we are today, it's going to be significantly better at the end of the year.
Coach, best of luck this season. Looking forward to all your team's progress.
Thank you, Ethan.
Back here at the Parkside Preview today, another new face. This is the head coach of Parkside Men's Basketball, head coach Luke Reigel. Coach, thank you so much for taking your time. Let's get to know you a little bit, Coach. You're in your 21st season here at Parkside. What is it that you love so much about being a Ranger?
When you look back on all the years you've been here, the number one thing that stands out are the players. I've just been fortunate to work with so many great young men, watch them come in as 18-year-old kids and develop into, 21, 22, 23-year-old men and getting their degrees along the way. And fortunately, we've had a lot of success along the way as well. So, looking back on it as we're getting ready for an alumni day in December, those first groups that kind of established our program and really were the first guys through the wall as far as taking all the bumps and bruises that go with building a program, and then, the success and our players that are still overseas having great careers. I've been really fortunate to have a lot of great players go through this program.
Coach, thank you. Let's talk a little bit about this upcoming season. Now, you're a couple weeks into preseason. We're on the doorstep of 2023, which is, I'm sure, crazy for you to think about this quick turnaround. How can you evaluate these last couple weeks?
I like where we're at. This is a different fall for us. We got to start practice a little bit earlier, which I think is really beneficial with this group. We had a great preseason conditioning program that we always take a lot of pride in, but getting on the court early has helped just the inexperienced perimeter players and post players that we have. So I think that was good, and I like where we're progressing. We got a long way to go, but it's nice to just have that extra time in the gym and watch some film and just try to help guys develop as quickly as possible.
Coach, let's talk about the schedule a little bit. You got a killer non-con schedule. You're facing some of the better teams in the country on just the first several games. How do you think that's going to help benefit the team come down the stretch in the GLIAC?
It'll be interesting. I mean, we come out of the gates playing really our first 3 games are against teams that not only are very talented, but are senior grad student driven. Like they have a lot of people returning, players that, have been in their programs for 3-4 years. So we're not only going to see talented teams early, but we're going to see teams that have played together a lot, had a lot of success last year. So that'll be interesting. But I think it'll be good for our guys. We have a good core returning as well. We just have to find out, the pieces that fit with that group. But it'll be interesting. you'd like to come in and maybe get your feet wet with a couple easy W's, but that's not going to happen for us this year. We're going to have to play some of the best teams in the country, as you mentioned, right away. And, we'll get tested early, and that'll get us ready for the GLIAC schedule, which is always our priority anyway. So if we can get, gone through the ringer a little bit early and get ready for those GLIAC games, that's what it's all about.
Coach, you move from one season to another. You've done it so many times. You're losing players, you're gaining players. Always holes to fill each and every season. What can the Parkside faithful expect from some of this newer class, whether those are freshmen or transfers?
Well, I think, what I've seen is we have a great team chemistry already, and every coach says that early on. But the new faces that we've mixed in with the guys that are returning have really gelled well. So I think that's always something that's encouraging to me, because you're going to go through tough times, and when you have players that buy in and really care about each other, then when you get beat, you lose a couple games in a row, there's no pointing fingers. There's just, let's get back to work and do those things. So that's the first thing that's really stood out. I love how our new group loves to get in the gym. I mean, these kids, I'm going to have to tell them they have to back off a little bit when we get to the heart of our season, just because it's a lot of work, but we don't have to ask them to get extra work in, and that's really encouraging. But it's a talented new group. It's just we're inexperienced. I mean, even when you look at like some our older guys, we had a couple transfers, but they're both in their first season with Parkside. And so, hopefully, Sam Duvall, grad transfer, and Jack Rose are, the two transfers that we added. We'll have just a feel for, have played very good competition at the college level, coming from the D1 level. And then our young guys are just, I think they're going to be just like every other freshman. They're going to have their ups and downs. I think they're going to help us win a lot of games during their career. But overall, what you want to do is be able to rely on your core guys that are returning, the Josiah Palmers, the Colin O'Rourke's, the Nick Browns, the guys that have been here for, going on their fourth year. And those guys, because of how they approach things every day, the work ethic they put in, and understanding our system, will take pressure off the newer players in our program. Because besides those guys, pretty much everybody else is either in their first or second year with us.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. Really looking forward to seeing your team out there.
You bet.